By contrast to that bleak rockscape I showed the other day, which is just a lifeless, depressing, horrible spot, there's this little meadow that I pass through every day, and it's full of these plumless thistles, which I love. They're like the coolest plants. Especially right now, they're so pretty. They're an invasive species from Eurasia, and they're not that desirable, but I'd say they're more desirable than the rockscape, which is just kind of soul-killing, and it's a heat island and lifeless, completely lifeless. Whereas this little spot, when I walk through it in the afternoon, there's butterflies, there's grasshoppers, there's bees, all kinds of little bugs running around. And so I just ask you, isn't just a lot run wild better than that horrifying rockscape? I would say so. It's very pleasant. This is like the most pleasant part of my walk to work, which I've been doing since my motorbike's been broke down, but I got parts coming in for that anytime. And so I should be back in action there pretty soon. And there's been an interesting development at work that I wanted to share this morning. Gotta find the right spot here. You know how I was complaining about the warden sitting in her chair backwards and man-spreading and getting that crotch shot every morning during those horrible meetings? Well, wait, I'm just gonna find a spot here. I had talked to this guy at work who I really like a lot and pointed the whole thing out to him, and he became aware of it, and then he saw something in the news about some celebrity at a sports event man-spreading, and that's how he became aware of the whole concept of man-spreading and everything. And then it's one of those things that once you see it, you can't unsee it, and so he was getting real annoyed with the whole thing too, and then he told me the other day, he was like, I know how we can fix it. And I was like, what? He said, get rid of the chair, because it's the only chair that's like that. The others are like those little portable lounge chairs that people bring to the baseball parks and stuff, and they get left behind. So we have a collection of those at the shop and that we sit in, except for that one chair. And so I went in yesterday. Normally on Mondays the meeting's in a whole different room, whole different spot, but I went into our regular meeting room and I noticed that chair's gone. And I just think he's the GOAT for that. It's like legendary. It's a legendary move. And I just cannot wait to, I'm going to have to maintain a poker face somehow this morning. I'm going to have to just look at the ground when the warden realizes that her chair's not there, and but I'm just so proud of him, and it just makes me love him even more. And this whole situation is just so funny. It's so funny. But yeah, I don't know. I've been talking about these landscapes. I just kind of became aware of how shitty so much of the landscaping is, and how unnatural, and how away from like the natural world it is. I mean, I know I'm like in basically what's an industrial park here, but this little meadow here, it's awesome. In fact, right now I can hear lots of little bugs and stuff. I hear birds rustling about, stuff like that. But that rockscape, every time I go by it, it's just dead. It's just like a lifeless dead zone, and I think we should be trying to leave some green spaces. And I don't know why people would even think the rockscaping, it's like a cultural problem. It's like everybody thinking they need a lawn, and a super green lawn, and dumping fertilizer and pesticides on everything. It's like a sickness that we just have as a society. And I mean, just look at how nice this is out here. It's so nice. So it's so much nicer than that rockscape. That rock Marscape is not even human friendly. It's not even really, you know, you couldn't even sit down there even for a moment. It's either too cold in the wintertime or just way too hot in the summertime. There's not any shade or anything like that. And it was funny too. I noticed there were some Mexicans adding more rocks to a different portion of it when I went by the other day, and they're all like incognito. They have their sweatshirts on with their hoods pulled up, and when I came walking by, they just all looked at the ground like I was an ICE agent or something. And I've noticed that a lot with the Mexicans, how they've gone like anonymous or just totally incognito and just cover themselves up completely, and they're almost like robots or humanoids or workoids or something. It's so crazy. It's just such a crazy world out there. So I have applied for a couple jobs just in the past little bit. And then I woke up this morning, I was kind of sore, like my shoulder hurt and my back was hurting because I've been doing some lifting. And I was like, oh man, I don't know. Maybe I'm older than I am accepting, and because I applied for a job as a well driller's assistant, which it's kind of a fantasy job for me. Now, this was just a water well driller's job, but you go away for like, say 12 days at a time, and you're working in like these remote locations and probably staying in shitty motel rooms and stuff. But the whole thing sounds kind of fun. And if I like just let myself go crazy with the fantasy, I start smoking again, and I start drinking too, so that I could just have that lifestyle again for a while, and just, go out in a blaze of glory type of deal, a blaze of working glory. And but then this morning, like when I got up, I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's such a good idea. I am feeling older. It's kind of making the substitute teaching idea seem a little bit better, but I still hate that idea too. I still want to do stuff and build stuff, and I don't know. So I did that, a well drilling job, a pipe laying job. It's kind of funny, at the pipe layer job, the supervisor's name I had to contact was Jesus, which just looks like Jesus, but I wish I had sent a message to Jesus yesterday. I'm sure he would have responded, whereas Jesus didn't bother to get back to me. It made me wonder if I had just signed. I should send another message and just sign it Pedro or something like that, and see if Jesus gets back to me. But it just got me thinking, fuck, I don't want to work for Jesus anyways. Who knows what that's gonna be like. Let's see. Well, I guess that's all I got for this morning. Maybe I'll get back to you from the janitor's closet later or something. Thanks for listening.